Hello, thanks for joining me. This is yoga for decision making. So it's either a class which is about connecting you to your body, perhaps connecting you to parts of your body which you wouldn't normally kind of register on a day-to-day movement basis, and so that you can feel in a place of more grounded, more inside your body, from which point maybe it becomes easier to make a decision. Or on the other hand, it's a bit of space, so it's just a little bit of time when you're not having to think about it. So it could be both of those things, or it could be just one or the other. So the movements I've selected are about that connection to the body, on the one hand, grounding inside that connection, and on the other hand, hopefully keeping moving and keeping the poses going and keeping them strong to the extent that you don't have to think too much whilst you're doing them. So that's the idea. Okay, we're going to start standing. So strong, grounded connection to the floor, using all 10 toes to connect yourself to the floor. I'm going to reach up with your arms. I'm going to reach up with our palms turned up towards the ceiling. So we're like pushing away towards the ceiling. So this is either getting a bit of arm's length from whatever decision you're thinking about making. You push it up, or it's a case of stretching into your wrists, getting connected to that part of the body. And we're going to move our arms around in like a kind of star shape around the side of the body. So moving sideways to the two diagonals, pushing with the wrists, getting a nice stretch down the underside of the arm, going all the way down in that star shape, exploring even here. So feeling this hopefully in the upper back as you're pressing down with the wrist to the floor. So we're just going to do that a little bit faster, pushing something away or reaching out. Okay, I'm going to come right down into chair pose here. Just going to turn so you can see me. So we've been working on this plane. We're going to now work forward. So we're going to press out towards a circle, which we probably can't quite complete, around the top of the body this way. So maybe just reach out behind us like that. So it's like you've created yourself a space, a bubble inside which to work. So working in chair pose, you're going to keep the shoulders relaxed. I'm going to take a big breath in. Exhale, you're going to fold forwards into your forward fold and relax the neck. I'm going to lift my head up so the microphone works better, but I want you to have your neck nice and relaxed, not straining up to look at the camera. So in your forward fold, roll your body round from side to side to get some mobilization in the lower spine. Allow the shoulders and the hands to completely relax, but keep the legs super strong. So you're reaching the backs of the legs up towards the ceiling, almost as if something from the very back of your legs is reaching up and away and trying to grow upwards. Okay, looking down, you're going to replace your right foot with your right hand. So place your hand where your foot was and take that foot back into a lunge. So a nice strong lunge here, so pushing back with your back heel as strongly as you can. And then opening up with the left hand as you reach up towards the ceiling or the sky. Thinking about the fourth finger, seeing whether that finger can stretch further than all of the other fingers. Keeping that position with the arms, we're going to shift the foot to a supported side plank position and pressing with the lower hand into the ground to make that space between the hands even broader. Big breath in here, exhaling, taking your arms down. I'm going to transfer the weight onto the leg that's in front and lift the back leg up into a balance here. So extending up as far as that leg will comfortably go at this point in the class, which might just be a nice low level, it might be higher, and you're going to transfer the weight to the extent over to this leg that you can let go with the hands and reach that foot forwards into a balance. What often happens to people here is there's a sinking in the pelvis. Try to avoid that by lifting up, using the glutes to keep yourself lifted high, even if that means that the leg lowers down. Doesn't matter about the length of the leg. You're going to roll the shoulders, making sure you haven't got tension there. And now try to deliberately put yourself off balance. So this isn't about a kind of perfect, I don't know, 90-degree angle with the leg and the kind of rigid body. This is about trying to make yourself fall over without actually falling over. So just have a go. See how far you can get your leg and what kind of weird places or positions you can put your leg, stretching your body maybe away from the leg to help you balance. So you're kind of pushing against yourself. Like, can you make yourself fall over, and can you make yourself not fall over at the same time? Just a game, really. Okay, so we're going to take a big swing of that leg, wobbling round, down towards your plank position. So reaching into your plank, inhaling in your plank, exhaling with lower knees and chest to the floor, breathing in into your cobra position, exhaling into your downward facing dog. Now we're going to take your right foot forward to replace the hand on the right side. Okay, so the opposite to what we did before. So you've got a nice lunge here, and we're going to open up with the right hand towards the ceiling. Okay, so pushing back with that back heel, trying to straighten up that back leg, or keep it slightly bent if that feels better, doesn't really matter. And from here, we're going to shift into that side plank position again. So foot comes halfway down the body, and you shift onto the outside edge of the back foot. Looking up here. So we're reaching with both hands down towards the ground and up towards the sky. Okay, looking down, we're going to transfer the weight onto that back foot. Sorry, onto your right foot, I guess it is. And we're going to stretch that leg up, 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 up. And then bring it out to the front of the body again. Relaxing the shoulders. Okay, again, try and push yourself off balance. Reach as far as you can forward with your leg, possibly backwards with your body. Maybe you can try by going to the side. You can do it your own way or come with me here. You can maybe try bending the standing leg, stretching it out in front. See what you have to do with your upper body to help yourself balance whilst the leg does its own weird thing, and totally fine if you fall over. In fact, probably you're doing it right if you do. Okay, so doing a bit more of that, and then swinging that leg around, whoa, to the back, and pushing into your plank. Okay, from plank, we're going to lower all the way down again, knees, chest, and I want us to get into a position which I learned from forest yoga. So it's splaying your hands really wide on the mat and bringing your elbows so they're almost reaching towards each other, keeping the shoulders down, so not allowing them to hunch up. And in this position, what I'm hoping is you can get a connection to the middle part of the back, because quite often we're bending from the lowest part of the back, so in this low bit of the back, or we're just working on the upper back. What I want us to get into is this middle part, which gets less, it's much harder to get into it. So maybe you need to lower yourself down a little bit, see when you can feel it in the very middle space across the back. So you get into the position you need to be for that. I'm going to inhale here. Exhale, be pressing your belly button down towards the floor just as you open up the shoulders. So it's quite a strong feeling, even though it's quite a small movement. You might find it's easier on the exhale. Making sure no tension is felt in the neck. It should be a strong stretch, but not a painful one. So come to whatever place you need to make that happen. Okay, keeping with that same place in your spine, you're going to take one hand to the middle of your mat and take the other hand to reach behind, wherever it needs to reach, in order to give yourself a little twist in that same middle space of the back, which often we can't access. So repeating it with the other side. Great. Good. And now we're going to try and do a counter pose to that, because we do lots of backwards. We're going to roll down to the ground, push ourselves back into a child's pose, and then from child's pose we're going to roll ourselves forward into your cat-cow position. However, I want you to keep moving if you can. So rather than coming to this static cat-cow position, pull the belly button towards the spine so you've got a tucked, kind of rounded lower spine, and move around in this position. So keep that nice curve in the lower spine to begin with, and shift your hips from side to side. Move around in your cat-cow. And you might want to now drop the belly and lift the belly and wiggle the pelvis from side to side. So explore the possibilities of movement in this position whilst keeping your hands nice and fixed, your knees grounded, the tops of your feet, the connection to the floor. Allow the rest of the body a bit of freedom. Okay, from here we're actually going to do something which will feel silly. You're going to try and wag your tail if you had a tail. So it might take a bit of practice. Obviously we're not used to wagging tails normally day to day. So you're going to wiggle your bum from one side to the other as if you've got a tail to wag. And you might feel, hopefully, that it might get into places. Maybe you have to go faster, maybe you have to go slow. Ideally it should be loosening something out, making space a little bit in the lower spine. But it's also quite hard work. It's not super relaxing. Okay, nice work. We're going to rest back down in child's pose for a second. Okay. And then bringing yourself forward, we're going to take the left leg forward, replace the hand, and reach up towards the sky. Again, it's the same position we went to before. We're going to take it slightly further though. So from here, we're going to move to our side plank, twisting up, and then you have a few options. First option is to have a go at stacking your foot on top. Second option, if you're feeling really strong here, go for it with a balance here. Have a go at those various options, otherwise feel free to stay here. If this is keeping you nice and focused, nice and calm, then stay here. A third or fourth, I can't remember, variation is to take your leg over the other side and push up into wild thing. So you may want to have a go at this by starting by sitting down on the floor and then going back up into it if you haven't done it before. But the idea is to get space in that armpit and to arch up and back. Great. Those of you that have done this quite a bit, then feel free to change it into wheel as well, but I'm not going to show that because I'd rather teach that in a class in person. So we'll stick with wild thing for now. So rolling out of whatever position you went to, we're going to take that foot round again and transfer the weight as we did before. Stretch with that leg up towards the ceiling, transfer the weight so you can let go with your arms. We're just going to go straight into the circle from the front, round to the back and down. Push back into plank and inhale. Exhale, take your knees, chest to the floor, pushing up to your cobra, which probably feels quite familiar by now. Exhaling down into downward facing dog. Taking your left foot to where your right foot to where your right hand was, so same thing on the side, reaching up towards the ceiling with the free hand, and then shifting into your side plank. Any wrist issues here, I should have said this earlier, take your forearm down to the ground. I'll put it on the comments. Okay, again you can do variations here, you can go in and out of the pose, you don't have to make smooth transitions, but you may want to try stacking your leg, you may want to try lifting your leg and staying. If you choose your position, you may want to go into your wild thing. Try to stay in whichever position you choose for at least 3 deep breaths. Nice, so then taking that foot, stacking it over the body, transferring the weight onto it, reaching up into your half splits position, maybe you can call it, reaching your foot to the front and swinging it round to the back, hands to the floor, push into your plank, again lengthening down the spine from the crown of the head right down to the heels, and then lowering your knees to the floor. This time we're going to come all the way to child's pose. So in your child's pose, rolling. So as if you're on a kind of seashore, maybe with stones, pebbles that are being rolled from one side to the other by the tide. Just allow your body to kind of drop a little bit from side to side in your child's pose to mobilise the spine a bit more. Okay, coming up to your knees. And we're going to move to our Shavasana now. But as before, as in my other class, you're welcome to do a moving Shavasana. It doesn't have to be a static one. So one option is, of course, to roll down. You can use your hands to support you rolling down and have your classic position of palms up towards the ceiling. Others of you may want to roll your hips from side to side as we're going through Shavasana. Some of you might want to do some final stretches. Feel free to do whatever works for you, and I'm going to talk you through a bit of movement whilst you're doing that. So either slow or in movement. Feel free to follow my voice and follow my instructions, or not. Your decision, or if you'd rather not make a decision, just follow me. Okay, so then from your Shavasana position, I want you to stretch your feet and do some circles with the ankles. Just mobilise the ankles as much as possible. That same thing of trying to create a bubble of space around each foot, with the foot pushing away. And then allow the feet to rest, to wobble maybe from side to side, to allow the energy to drop away from them. By the way, I'm sitting up so that you can hear me, so do be lying down if you can, if you want to. Then wobble your legs, your calves from side to side. You don't need to watch me, you can just hear, hopefully, the instructions. Wobbling your legs, so rolling from side to side with those legs, which will give a sense of freedom perhaps in the pelvis. Same thing, rolling your pelvis, wobbling your torso, wobbling your shoulders, and feeling the movement just drop out little by little from each part of the body. You may want to mobilise the hands last of all, stretching that fourth finger, that forgotten fourth finger. And a little bit of a roll from one side to the other with the neck. And wherever you are, moving or still, watch where your breathing is. So where is your inhale? Where is your exhale? Drawing your attention now to the sounds around you, so whether that's my voice or the background, cars in the street, clocks ticking, taps dripping, people in the background, just noticing all those different sounds, seeing if you can listen into the sounds your body's making, so maybe the sound of your body against the mat, the kind of crinkling of the clothes, maybe your heartbeats, if you've got really good hearing. And then rolling yourself over to one side, walking your hands and your body up towards sitting, and just joining with me to say thank you so much for joining me, and hopefully see you soon, and good luck with the decisions.